Thank you all for listening and watching my videos. Please subscribe and like my channel Master Coolitz. Hoping that you will not skip my ads, it's a big help for me by not skipping it. Thank you so much. Dragon Shadow. The Rise.
Zane Martell listened intently as Katie warned him about Penny Waltman's formidable skills. She emphasized the comparison to Nikki of the Zansect, highlighting Penny Waltman's exceptional power as a disciple of the celestial body.
Larry Shaw, you have to pay attention to Penny Waltman. He is as talented as Nikki of the Zansect. He is extremely powerful and is also a disciple of the celestial body.
Katie's words echoed in Zane Martell's mind, reminding him of the challenge ahead in the sect competition. Zane Martell acknowledged the gravity of the situation with a nod, fully aware of the significance of facing a disciple of celestial body caliber.
Penny Waltman is a formidable opponent in the sect competition.
Katie's reminder lingered as Zane Martell contemplated the competition's stakes. Zane Martell understood the implications of competing against disciples of celestial bodies from various sects. The Goodwill Sect, Zan Sect, and Tan Sect each boasted formidable contenders, making the competition fierce and unpredictable.
Next round, Caleb Pierce from the Goodwill Sect versus the Bruce from the Tan Sect.
The announcer's voice reverberated through the arena, drawing Zane Martell's attention to the upcoming match. Zane Martell's curiosity piqued as he heard Caleb Pierce's name announced. Memories of their past association flooded his mind, leaving him puzzled by Caleb Pierce's unexpected affiliation with the Goodwill Sect.
Why is Caleb Pierce here and joined the Goodwill Sect?
Zane Martell pondered, his brows furrowing with confusion. The spectators around Zane Martell speculated loudly about Caleb Pierce's motivations and background, shedding light on his departure from the Seven Kingdoms Alliance and subsequent allegiance to the Goodwill Sect.
Look, he's from the Seven Kingdoms Alliance. I heard that he left Seven Kingdoms Alliance to join Goodwill Sect.
Haha, I'm sure I would do the same. The Seven Kingdoms Alliance is a garbage dump.
Zane Martell turned to Katie, seeking clarification on Caleb Pierce's identity and reputation. Zane Martell inquired, hoping for insight from Katie's perspective.
Do you know Caleb Pierce?
I don't know him, but I've heard of his stories. I've heard that he was stars of 10 palaces of the Seven Kingdoms Alliance.
Katie's revelation added layers of complexity to Zane Martell's understanding of Caleb Pierce's background and abilities. Despite the uncertainty surrounding their past connection, Zane Martell remained steadfast in his belief in Caleb Pierce's strength, Zane Martell affirmed, masking his conflicted feelings with unwavering confidence.
No, Caleb Pierce won't lose. He's very strong.
That's right, you used to be a member of the Seven Kingdoms Alliance. Do you know him?
Katie probed, intrigued by Zane Martell's assertion. Zane Martell replied curtly, concealing the truth about his past association with Caleb Pierce.
I don't know him.
As Caleb Pierce took to the arena, his imposing presence commanded attention. Zane Martell observed him closely, his thoughts clouded with unresolved emotions and unanswered questions. A burly opponent taunted, underestimating Caleb Pierce's capabilities.
You're the stars of 10 palaces of the Seven Kingdoms Alliance. You don't look the part. Do you believe that I can kill you in one move?
Stars of 10 palaces? That's in the past. I'm now a disciple of the Goodwill Sect. You should make your move.
Forget it. I hate dealing with people like you. I'll defeat you in one move. Take this.
Bruce released a strong momentum and a windstorm was conjured. A huge iron hammer appeared in his hand. The hammer shone brightly with golden light, emitting an aura as majestic as a mountain. It suddenly enveloped Caleb Pierce and hit him on the top of his head. The crowd were excited to witness it.
It was the power of metal. The power of metal was almost at the major completion stage.
His power of metal has attained the major completion stage. He is indeed worthy of being the Zan Sect's disciple of the celestial body.
He's too good. The power of metal in the major completion stage. It would be great if I had such power.
The hammer fell with great strength, giving people a sense of oppression. Countless people had begun to mourn for Caleb Pierce. In their eyes, Caleb Pierce was bound to die.
That's it, weak. Is this the ability of a celestial body disciple that the Zan Sect is proud of?
Haha, can you do that? Shut up and face death. Golden hammer, suppress.
With the force of vital energy, the golden hammer shone brighter. It was about to crush Caleb Pierce to death. However, Caleb Pierce was bathed in purplish golden light. An earth-shattering dragon roar could be heard.
Golden hammer, suppress!
Next, he raised his hand and punched in the air. A purplish golden dragon shadow whizzed over and collided with the golden hammer. Sand and stone were flying in all directions. The solid Ness metal hammer shattered like a piece of paper. The violent impact swept over and threw Bruce into the air. Everyone was dumbfounded. Zane Martell was not fazed and spoke in a faint voice.
That was Bruce. It was Bruce, the Zansect's disciple of the celestial body. How could he be defenseless? A talented disciple may not necessarily be good. Bruce is talented, but it doesn't stop him from being a weakling. I will never let you go if you hinder my plans as a member of the Goodwill sect.
Zane Martell thought to himself. Zane Martell would not allow anyone to hinder his plan.
Damn it, Caleb Pierce, I was humiliated in front of so many people. I'm going to kill you.
A hammer martial spirit appeared above Bruce's head. With a flash of golden light, it immediately integrated into his body. Bruce's realm rose several levels, and he burst out laughing.
Ha ha ha, I'm currently at the 4th stage of the advanced level. Let's see how you're going to fight me. Get ready to be stepped on by me. Kill.
Bruce turned around and jumped to the ground. Like a sharp blade, he rushed to Caleb Pierce. Caleb Pierce snorted and raised his hand. 2 golden claws appeared in the air. He put his hands together with great force. The claws landed heavily on Bruce. Every bone in Bruce's body was broken, and he fell on his face. A collective gasp rose from the onlookers. The power Caleb Pierce showed far exceeded their imagination.
Has Caleb Pierce been hiding his strength before? I've never heard of him being this good.
He's the stars of 10 palaces, an existence on par with a great general in intermediate level. Do you think he's that weak?
Standing in the arena, Caleb Pierce's eyes were frosty. He looked in Zane Martell's direction.
Stephen, I will wait for you.
Zane Martell frowned. His heart tightened as he thought to himself.
Caleb Pierce, do you still want to be my enemy?
Zane Martell replied in a loud and clear voice.
Okay.
Soon, the referee announced the next round of the qualification match. Zorro from the Tan sect defeated Boris from the Divine Soldier sect.
The next match, Zansect Scarlet vs. Goodwill sect's Turlin.
When Scarlet stepped onto the stage, several people stared at her with a lustful gaze.
Hey, you are pretty. What do you think of being my mistress?
Turlin sized Scarlet up with a lewd gaze. His eyes drank her desirable curves in. His wretched smile was disgusting.
Take this, pervert.
Scarlet chided in a delicate voice. She then emitted waves of flames. She was indeed the highly acclaimed talent of the Zansect. In a matter of seconds, she finished off Turlin and won the match.
The next match?
The competition was still going on. Within half an hour, several matches had been held. The process was astonishing.
The next match, Aramis from the Dark Wolf Hall versus Bogan from the Goodwill sect.
The crowd was interested and looked at the contenders with excitement.
It's Aramis. He's the best disciple in the Dark Wolf Hall currently. Look.
Aramis slowly entered the crowd's sight. He was burly and 2 meters tall. He was a mountain of roiling muscle. He had tan skin and menacing eyes, as if he could kill his opponent with a single glance. He glanced at Bogan and spoke languidly.
Human, you're only at the 3rd stage of advanced level. You don't deserve to stand in front of me. Get lost.
His voice was hoarse.
You're just...
The reply was cut short by a swift black shadow. Bogan's head flew in the air and his dead eyes were full of shock. His head fell to the ground. 1 second. All it took was a second for him to kill Bogan. Everyone had a grave expression and the corners of their mouths kept twitching. Was this Aramis's power? The head disciple of the Dark Wolf Hall and the strongest wolf prince. Although he was at the 3rd stage of the advanced level, his actual strength was likely at the 5th or 6th stage. He emanated evil energy, which was eerie.
You killed someone.
Someone said in a tremulous voice. No one paid him any attention. Killing seemed to have become a hidden rule in the arena. Only one could live. Anyway, the sects had not been on good terms for a while.
Hey, Aramis, you seem to be good. Why don't you compete with me?
Darian showed a strange smile and provoked Aramis.
Human, you are no match for me. Donovan could fight me instead.
Aramis said as he walked down the ring alone and left. Darian frowned, displeased with being ignored.
A mere beast ignored me.
Aramis was mysterious. Few people knew him well in the Dark Wolf Hall. They only knew that he was powerful. As night fell, the first day of the sect competition was over. Everyone returned to their respective homes. Zane Martel visited the Wise family and removed sword energy from Scarlet as usual. 2 hours later, he came out of Scarlet's room. He went to the street and stopped at the gate of Goodwill Sect. It was a huge gate that was 100 meters high and towered into the sky. Dense runes surrounded the gate. Zane Martel stared at the stone gate and thought,
Elora is inside.
Stephen, what are you doing here?
Zane Martel turned around and saw that it was Caleb Pierce who spoke. Compared to the Caleb Pierce that Zane Martel had known previously, he was much colder now. His cold eyes threatened as he looked at Zane Martel.
It's none of your business, Caleb Pierce,
Zane Martel said coldly. His current identity was Larry Shaw. In addition, he was Stephen, the Wolf Prince of Dark Wolf Hall. He could not expose his real identity as Zane Martel. Moreover, Zane Martel did not know Caleb Pierce's stance. He would not reveal his identity to the former friend.
You have the scent of my friend.
Your friend? Who is he?
Zane Martel.
Zane Martel?
Zane Martel feigned ignorance. He was surprised. He did not expect Caleb Pierce to find traces of him, even with the disguise.
How can I be Death? You must have mistaken me for someone else.
I know you are not him, but the black sword you're carrying belongs to him. Where did you get it?
What if I refuse to answer that?
Then I'll kill you during the match and take the sword back.
Caleb Pierce intoned solemnly, but he released killing intent without knowing. It wrapped around Zane Martel. Zane Martel was dumbfounded.
Could it be that Caleb Pierce thought Larry Shaw had stolen the Black Abyss sword? That was why he issued a challenge to Larry Shaw before.
If that was the case, Caleb Pierce might still be on the same side as Zane Martel. However, Zane Martel could not reconcile with him. It was not the right time. A streak of golden light attacked Zane Martel from behind. The ambush was fast and dazzling. Zane was startled. He twisted the Black Abyss sword and forcefully tugged at the golden light. The golden light dissipated in the air. The two attacks offset each other. The huge impact caused the nearby buildings to shake. Seeing that the sneak attack did not succeed, Caleb Pierce did not continue to attack. Instead, he snorted and turned to leave the scene.
It turns out Caleb Pierce hasn't changed. He is concerned about me. I can tell him my identity when the time comes and ask him about Elora.
The next day, on the second day of the sect competition, the venue was crowded. The remaining participants of the qualification match competed with each other. The second round of qualification matches would be held in the afternoon. The competition would be more intense. The battle in the morning was exciting, and the people who advanced were expected. Bruce of the Zan sect was the only exception. Every disciple of the celestial body advanced except Bruce. Soon it was afternoon. The audience burst into an uproar.
I can't wait any longer. Let the match begin.
People were shouting. Soon the referee in a white robe walked in and announced,
There are a total of 50 people who have advanced to the second round. Only 10 people will enter the finals. The second round begins now. The first match, Stephen of the Dark Wolf Hall against Caleb Pierce of the Goodwill Sect.
Unexpectedly, the first match was between Zane Martel and Caleb Pierce. Caleb Pierce was not surprised. Instead, he smiled oddly. Caleb Pierce's figure flashed and he appeared in the arena. His face was expressionless. Soon, Zane Martel went up to the stage. Caleb Pierce requested the same thing.
Hand over Black Abyss sword. It belongs to my friend. I can spare your life.
Zane Martel's heart warmed when he heard this. Judging by Caleb Pierce's somewhat angry expression, perhaps he had been blaming himself for not being able to help Zane Martel in the peace negotiation hall before. However, Zane Martel did not bear a grudge against him. Caleb Pierce was special. Ethan Wright was the leader of the Seven Kingdoms Alliance. If Caleb Pierce took action, it was very likely that the peace negotiations would fall apart. A war would break out at any time. Although Zane Martel was delighted, he did not show it on his face. Instead, he spoke in a cold voice.
Is your friend Death, Zane Martel?
Zane Martel kept his voice down, and it was noisy around. Hence, their conversation was not overheard by others.
Humph! So what?
Caleb Pierce did not deny it.
Don't you know that death is a taboo in Eastern Palm?
Zane Martell continued.
It's none of your business. I'll give you to the count of 3. Don't blame me for being ruthless if you refuse to hand over the sword. I will kill you.
Zane Martell did not take it seriously. Caleb Pierce was good, but he was remarkable.
You're courting death.
Caleb Pierce was enraged. Under the outbreak of vital energy, a stream of purplish golden energy gushed out from him. Caleb Pierce let out a roar, similar to a sky dragon's roar. Zane Martell's expression turned solemn at once.
A dragon's roar? It's a dragon's roar.
The previous interactions with Caleb Pierce had left Zane Martell suspecting Caleb Pierce was related to dragons. The sky above the arena turned dark. Countless dark clouds rolled in from all directions and condensed in the air.
Hand over the sword,
Caleb Pierce demanded and rushed towards Zane Martell. A shadow flashed at the speed of lightning. Caleb Pierce, who had appeared behind Zane Martell, punched in the air.
Sky Dragon Halpalm.
Purplish golden vital energy came in waves. An illusory image of a purplish golden sky dragon coiled around Caleb Pierce's arm. It emitted an imposing manner that resembled a mountain. The dazzling light and the great sense of pressure were impressive.
Why isn't Caleb Pierce a divine disciple with such terrifying strength? He should have been a divine disciple.
That's right. Caleb Pierce is a member of the Seven Kingdoms Alliance. That must be why the Goodwill sect stopped him from becoming a divine disciple.
With this strength, it is likely that Stephen from the Deep Wolf Palace will be finished.
The crowd was astounded. Zane Martell's expression shifted in the face of the Sky Dragon's shadow. He put his hands together and released a wave of frightening vital energy.
Thunderbolt Fist!
Zane Martell exclaimed. He countered the attack with a huge reddish golden handprint. The two collided with each other. The Thunderbolt Fist managed to resist shortly and dissipated.
Caleb Pierce, you have improved compared to some time ago.
Instead of being nervous, Zane Martell smiled.
I have no idea what you're talking about, and I haven't met you before. Hand over the sword or you will die. Sky Dragon Halpalm suppress.
The purplish golden shadow continued to press down, but its attack did not slow down. Zane Martell clenched his hand, and the Black Abyss sword appeared in his hand. He struck the purplish golden shadow with his sword. The sword shone and cut the dark clouds in the sky apart. A wave of sword energy that was hundreds of meters tall rushed toward the dragon's shadow.
Dragon Slaughter.
The sword energy and the dragon shadow collided together. The explosion of energy affected the 100,000 people present. The arena was instantly destroyed, and it was repaired by the formation. Around them, the audience gritted their teeth to resist the strong wind. The weaker spectators were even blown away.
Damn, the damage caused is unbelievable. Is Stephen this capable?
Are you sure this is a match between two disciples at the 3rd stage of advanced level? They're passable as the 7th stage.
Fuck, is this the strength of juniors at the 3rd stage? What about us?
Even the organizer of the sect competition panicked and quickly sent someone to reinforce the formation. After the strike, the purplish golden dragon shadow was cut into pieces. The green wave of sword energy did not slow down and rushed toward Caleb Pierce.
You don't have the right to use my friend's sword. If you want to live, leave the sword behind.
Caleb Pierce was furious. A little starlight burst out from his body. The starlight contained his martial spirit. Although it was small, it gave off a faint sense of oppression. Zane Martell was shocked by the familiar aura. With Zane Martell's amazing eyesight, he could clearly see that there was a hair-sized earthworm in the starlight. The earthworm had 2 horns on its head and 4 limbs. It turned out to be a tiny dragon. The moment he saw the purplish golden dragon, the dragon-devouring bloodline within Zane Martell began to stir wildly. A voice urged in Zane Martell's mind.
Eat it.
But Zane Martell resisted the urge. Zane Martell pondered, puzzled by the revelation.
No, I need to be rational. Caleb Pierce is not my enemy. Why is his martial spirit a dragon? From its outline, it should be a low-level flood dragon.
3,000 dragon, Dow?
Caleb Pierce exclaimed. Numerous dragons roared one after another. Caleb Pierce held his hands and 3 huge dragon shadows rushed over. Aramis's face fell despite his mysterious demeanor.
Who on earth is Caleb Pierce? Why does he have the aura of the Dragon Clan?
Aramis frowned and looked at Caleb Pierce with hostility. The Dragon Clan was an ancient and powerful race, rumored to have been nearly wiped out in ancient times due to their cruel nature and dominance over other demons and races.
If he comes from a bloodline of the Dragon Clan, Stephen would definitely lose to him.
Good. Caleb Pierce. I've long wanted to compete with you. Come on, let's fight.
Zane Martel laughed out loud and advanced instead of retreating. He sent forth a formation that enveloped the entire arena, forming dozens of swords in the void.
Tia sword formation open!
With a flash, Zane Martel turned into an afterimage, moving swiftly between every sword, forming strands of sword the size of a hair. When the strands of sword cut the three purplish golden dragon shadows, sparks flew in all directions. Thumb-sized dragon scales fell. The cutting grew faster and more powerful, even pulverizing the stage beneath them. The three huge dragon shadows roared and wailed, forced to retreat under Zane Martel's relentless attack.
Impossible! Damn it, Stephen, return the sword!
As you wish.
With a resounding boom, the three dragon shadows exploded. Caleb Pierce's face fell as he stepped back.
Damn it,
But before he could finish, Zane Martel appeared behind him like a ghost.
It's me, Caleb.
Caleb Pierce stiffened, disbelief written all over his face. He trembled, unable to believe what he was hearing.
You are you?
Zane Martel smiled and nodded.
Yes, I am.
Suddenly, Caleb Pierce laughed out loud and looked up to the sky.
Zane, Stephen, your actions are beyond my expectation. Interesting. Although I don't know what you're planning, shall we meet up later?
Okay.
Their eyes met and they couldn't help laughing. Despite their differences, Caleb Pierce admired Zane Martel and appreciated him. He felt guilty about what had happened in the peace negotiation hall.
No more fighting. I surrender.
Caleb Pierce raised his hands and walked down the arena in front of everyone. The confused audience burst into an uproar.
What's going on? Why did Caleb Pierce surrender?
That's right. It's obvious that the two of them are fighting back and forth. It's hard to determine the winner. What did Stephen do?
Caleb Pierce surrendered and David Sullivan hit himself. Zane Martel is weird.
The crowd was eager to know what Zane Martel had done to make David Sullivan and Caleb Pierce willingly admit defeat.
Stephen of the Dark Wolf Hall won. Next, Beth of the Goodwill Sect versus Metro of the Immortal Spirit Sect.
Zane Martel, who had returned to his seat, frowned and stared at Beth. Beth was the key to Alora's rescue. If Beth was missing, Sebastian's plan would be forced to stop, or at best, postponed. Due to the last failure, Beth would be more vigilant compared to before. Beth and Metro were in the same realm. However, Beth, being a disciple of the Goodwill Sect, was expertly trained. Therefore, her first move was detrimental, easily knocking down Metro and winning. In the following matches, only the four most powerful sects in Eastern Palm advanced, while the rest were eliminated. Donovan fought against a disciple of a celestial body from Tan Sect. Although both had celestial bodies, Donovan proved much stronger, nearly killing his opponent with one move. Zane Martel's opponent in the second round was a divine disciple of the Goodwill Sect, standing at the third stage of the advanced level. Confident, he stood in the arena and taunted Zane Martel.
Stephen, you're dead this time.
One punch.
What?
I'm in a hurry. I'll finish you off with one punch.
Before his opponent could finish speaking, Zane Martel glowed with silver light, smashing his fist at his opponent. The divine disciple flew backward, deeply embedded in the arena, unconscious and bleeding. In the third round, Zane Martel fought against a disciple of the Zan sect, winning with one move again. His successive victories drew the attention of many, sparking discussions.
Stephen's attack is too fierce. If it goes on, he's going to face Darian.
Yeah, I wonder who is stronger between him and Darian.
Of course it's Darian. He's a divine disciple and also the younger brother of Donovan.
I don't think so. The divine disciple didn't mean anything in the arena. Didn't you see that the divine disciple was defeated with a move just now?
They argued fervently, speculating on the outcome of the upcoming battles.